go live.
So don't hang up. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that. All right, I think we are live, my friend.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to
Good morning,
Crazy
boys.
Guys in One Crazy Crypto World for your morning Crazy Crypto update. There's a heck of a lot of crazy in that, Stacey.
Well,
I mean,
it is
seriously.
us, mate.
I know.
Down to
It's just, you know, the thing I haven't done is, ladies and gents, if you're watching this, I haven't pressed record on mine yet.
This is all I have. That's all I can say.
That is what Stacey has. I mean, that's it. You guys is probably sitting out there saying, what's happening with Bitcoin? And here we are, just trying to get our shit together. But, ladies and gents, please bear with us. This live thing is a new experience for us, as you would have seen yesterday when I took a break during a live broadcast because of the simple fact I forgot that it was live. And, well, these things happen, I reckon. So, because we will try to make them not happen as often.
Part of the fun. All part of
It
the
is
fun.
part of the fun. And so, Bitcoin, we're here for the crazy crypto update. Bitcoin overnight. If you remember yesterday, it was roughly around $11,400. Well, guess what it is today? Mr. Bosley,
Let's
bring up your screen, please.
let us have a look, shall we?
It is. Well, Stacey's screen's coming up. Wait for it.
Here we go.
$12,138. Oh, no, it's 12,166. Oh, it's 183 on my screen. 166 on Stacey's. And the funny part here, ladies and gents, if you can see my screen, we're on the same website.
Are you on CoinMarketCap?
Yeah, oh, no, I'm on Coin Checkup, sorry.
Okay, well, I can go to Coin Checkup too.
There you go. See?
That's the beauty of this game, right? It's like,
Yeah.
if you don't like that figure, you can go to another site and get another one.
I know. It's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, I've just got to mute you just for a second, Stacey. Tell the people about the thing.
Right. Okay. Thanks, mate. So we definitely have taken a bit of a jump last night, which was a little bit unexpected, though. From the analysts that I've looked at in the last day or so, they have sort of said that 12.1 is a top level of resistance, and they're sort of saying that we need to get above 12.1 for it to go on and make a bigger run. And look, it's sort of sitting there. It's sitting at the 12.1 level. Whether or not that takes whether it takes that and runs with it is yet to be seen. So, but more interestingly, we've actually had quite a bit of influx into it's not just Bitcoin, of course. The wider crypto market has enjoyed some more money flowing into it. So we're up to $342 billion total market cap in the crypto world at the moment.
Could I have some? Just a little bit?
Yeah, mate. Look, well, you're invested in crypto.
I knew that he was going to say that. He totally misses the point that I want some of the billions bit.
And what would you do with it, my friend?
I'd buy you a private jet. Does that make sense?
Okay, all right. I'll let you have it then.
Thanks. Sure. That was easy, ladies and gents. The funny part is he believes me. All right. So the crazy, right? I just want to give an example of just how crazy this crypto world is, right? Now, as you all know out there, Stacey laughs at me because I've got Redcoin. Now, Redcoin I bought just on a little bit of a whim, just to have some fun, and occasionally Redcoin gets up into the top 100. Now, last night it was well and truly into the top 100, and it was coming through booming at things like 20% an hour. But if you have a look at Redcoin at 117 or 114, it's jumped.
114.
Right? You can see the price there is 0019. Now, last night it hit up to 0023.
Good.
So it was booming. And I'm thinking, finally, now Stacey's going to get a real giggle about this tomorrow because he's just going to say, I don't believe it. Well, I was in the 90s in the scale. But as you can see there, the crazy crypto world, Redcoin is down 21% overnight. Who knows what? All we know is it was going up and now it's going down. So hold on to your hats. The roller coaster continues.
I'll bring in the chart. it's a little up and down.
Yeah, I know. Just a little bit up and down. But then again,
there you go. There's your 24-hour chart.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Now, I quite like it when it was over there at that lumpy bit. But
that lumpy bit. That lumpy a technical term, is it?
Oh, mate, it is dead set the technical term. When it was up the top of the lumps. The best bit. Go back to the main chart. Right. So, what do we think Bitcoin's going to do today? You're saying you don't know, because the analysis showed that 12.1 was sort of a point, and we have exceeded it.
For instance, has it
here
sort of sitting there
to be climbing?
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next day or so.
Can you bring up the 24-hour chart for Bitcoin, please, buddy?
Actually, I probably should have opened the proper chart. This one's just...
There we go. Look at that. See, ladies and gents?
We have a bit of a jump here.
At what time?
It was 8 o'clock, but that's not our...
morning, actually. That's American time, isn't it?
It's American time, that one.
Yeah. So there you can see the start. That's yesterday morning, actually. That's yesterday morning.
Yeah, well, try. Well, we're sitting around the 8, the 8.3s.
Yeah.
And it sort of, slightly jumped to about 11.4. Really didn't do much for most of the day. And then all of a sudden,
he just went up.
She went, jumped above the 11.7, 11.8, and it's just slowly jumped back up to where it is now, just above the 12. It's now 12.2. Now, this is really interesting. I might have to bring up my other chart, because now that it's hit 12.2, that's in it. It may well start to run. That would
you never know. Well, that's what I was about to say. Indigo, when I logged on and had a look at mine, it was 12,135. By the time that Stacey opened up his 10 minutes later, it was at 12,183. Right? And now it's at 12,200. So it is steadily climbing. But whether this climb actually continues, only the day will tell. Because the US are going into their nighttime as we come into our daytime. So a few people will be coming home from work and trading Bitcoin. But the vast majority of those that are doing it, they're going, okay, that's it for the day. I can't watch this anymore. It'll be interesting to see what the market does overnight over there.
Look, it absolutely will. And it's really weird, because you can't, even the times that it actually jumps is all over the place, right? You can't it's not always, American morning. It's not always American evening, or like it's I've tried to pick. The only thing I have sort of picked up in terms of some of the patterns is quite often late Sunday, early Monday, our time is often a time when it does
I've noticed the same thing.
Because most people aren't trading in America and Europe, so I've often
Sunday day off.
Monday morning's a good time to buy, because the prices are often low. But you just don't know. You just can't. You just can't tell, mate. It's weird. Right.
So that's us for today. There's our crazy crypto update. Do we have any crazy crypto news before we go?
We do. And what I need to do is I've lost my screen share. Hang on a sec. Zoom. And I want to share back to my desktop. And then I'll go back to the news. And this is something I've been watching for a little while, and I know I've now spoken about it a couple of times in our regular podcasts. But Deutsche Bank, obviously largest European bank, but they're also supposedly the world's largest holder of derivatives. Mm-hmm. Now, they are sort of saying that Deutsche Bank could well be the canary in the coal mine in terms of global financial crisis.
Yeah.
Purely because of the amount of derivatives that they hold. Now, we've been watching Deutsche Bank for a while, and if you should have had but if you look at their stock prices, it's just going down, down, down. They're now at the lowest level they've ever been, right?
Yeah.
And I did read one analysis that they believe that if it dropped below $6, then Deutsche Bank's gone, right? And they're pretty much at that level now. Now, there was a article, here it is. So the article basically says it's going to be carnage. Deutsche Bank begins culling 18,000 employees.
Wow.
Right? And they're sort of suggesting it's going to be Lehman-style scenes. And for those that don't know what that means, Lehman Brothers was one of the major banks in America that went under in the GFC. And
it really was the GFC.
It really was. It was back then. That's right. And while Australia sort of came out of it okay, we were pretty lucky because our mining boom sort of kept us going. But this time round, I don't know how we're going to fare. Plus, China kept us going with strong exports for us.
Yeah.
Now, China's economy is also struggling, and a lot of geopolitical stuff happening on that space. So whether or not we continue to get the strong exports that we did before is a big question mark. Not sure whether we will. But it's going to be interesting to watch Deutsche Bank to see what happens with these guys. And there's a number of articles now. It's another one here about Deutsche Bank is not going to be as it was.
Yep.
And they're trying to restructure the whole business basically and find a way to increase their liquidity and profitability. And but it's not looking good. And as I said, one of the key things that, and for those that probably don't understand the financial markets, the whole derivative thing, it's quite frankly, it's monopoly money, right? It's another one of these invented bank products that have been allowed to happen since the late 90s when they changed the legislation. But Deutsche Bank holds derivatives for many and many other banks. And as I said, they're one of the largest or the largest holders of derivatives in the world. So if these guys go down, there will be a massive flow-on effect, and a lot are saying that it may well be the trigger for the next financial crisis.
Wow, well, let's hope that what they're saying is wrong, but hold on to your hats, ladies and gents. Maybe.
Well, this is the thing. You know, we don't want the system to crash, quite frankly. I mean, it's going to cause a lot of dramas. But the reality is, whether we want it to or not, it's on the cards. And it's one of the reasons we're here is to let people know what's going on and to try and protect themselves. And this is one of the key reasons I personally got into cryptos in the first place, to protect myself against this sort of stuff, right? And by having your money in the cryptocurrency world, you are completely separated from the financial system, right? And if a bank goes down, I've got my cryptos and nobody can take it, right? Because anyone who's got money in Deutsche Bank at the moment, now, if that does go under, you'll lose your money. Simple as that, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, it may then start a run on other banks, right?
And that's the catch.
It is a catch, absolutely. And what happens is the governments around the world will then step in and start restricting access to your money to slow down that run on the banks if they have to, right? So they can and will stop access to your money if they deem it too great a risk.
Yep.
And for me, having money in cryptos provides me that self-sovereignty and that freedom, and means that nobody else can prevent me getting access to my money. So something to keep an eye on, my friend. It's
absolutely
interesting stuff.
It will be. It'll be interesting to see what it does driving people towards crypto. But, just very quickly, I know that we're going a little bit long for our crazy morning update, but I had a read of the white paper on Libra yesterday.
Yeah, cool. What'd you think?
Yeah, it's very interesting, actually, because a lot of what they state in the white paper matches cryptocurrency in general.
I've done that on purpose. Absolutely.
Yeah. But what a lot of people, I guess, they may not have missed or they may miss is the fact that it's still a controlled release. It's still a controlled
So it's still a centralised environment.
That's right. It is still centralised. It's not decentralised like true cryptocurrency. Now, there's going to be up to 100 partners, all each have an equal say in the management of it. But it is
they get 100. They don't have 100 yet.
They don't have 100 yet.
They're working on it.
Yeah. So there was some interesting stuff in it. There was some good, and there was some stuff in there that I think was, and we can go through it in a normal podcast, but there was some stuff in there that I think was against the cryptocurrency basis. But from reading it, I fully expect that it will be highly successful.
Look, absolutely. They've got the infrastructure, they've got the user base.
Yeah.
The issues they will face is the governments, right? And this is again one of the key differentiators in my mind between a true cryptocurrency and the pretenders is that if there is a centralized organisation or body that controls it, governments have somebody to point to and somebody can say, hey, we don't like that. And that's what they're doing to Facebook. This is what they're doing already. So the US government have already said to them, hang on, we want you to stop development on Libra until we can have a talk about this. The French president has come out and said, we have to stop this, right? They threaten our sovereign money. And so there's been a number of comments like that around the world. So they're going to face some uphill battles, but quite frankly, I don't think it'll stop them. Right?
No, it won't stop them. There's too much money involved.
Yeah, especially when you've got the likes of Visa, MasterCard, PayPal,
backing it.
Stripe, all those guys are all in this, right? So you can consider the global monetary base that's sitting behind all that. And the connections that all those people will have. And you can be damn sure there's been a lot of discussions in the background prior to their releasing of this, right?
Without a doubt.
You know, Zuckerberg wouldn't have been going ahead with this unless he was pretty sure.
He's not a dummy, mate. He's not a dummy.
He would have been pretty sure he'll get through it, right?
Yeah.
And look, to be honest, some of this could just be a dog and pony show too. Make it look like we're doing the right thing, but they'll let it happen. Well, they probably can't stop it. Is probably the real question.
And ladies and gents, if you see me bouncing around a little bit, it's because I have a 13-kilo puppy who is trying to get into my lap. And also, I love that little girl. She's not climbing up here.
Yeah. So look, ultimately, I think Libra Coin will be good for the cryptocurrency space purely because its marketing will be brilliant. It'll bring a lot of people into the space earlier, and it'll raise the whole awareness of the game, right? So, and look, we'll probably have to use it if we're doing anything on Facebook. We'll probably have
you won't have a choice.
But it's not something I would put a lot of money into. That's for sure.
You won't have a choice.
Interesting stuff. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your second of our crazy morning updates. That hopefully it's come through on Facebook. And look, I didn't even take a break.
How's that? No protocol.
We are getting better at this. All right. Well, until we make our normal podcast, which will be later today, we hope you have a wonderful day, and we shall chat to you tomorrow morning. Be good, behave, be nice, or be Stacey.
Or one or the other.
Right. See ya.
See ya.